Hello students, as I told you, I am making a video for section 4 and section 5 of chapter 10 trigonometry. So actually we've solved we've solved this type of questions before, but let's just go through all those questions together quickly. So find all possible values of theta between 0 to 360 for which sine theta equals negative 0.3. So first step is by using sine inverse, you need to find theta. By using your calculator, see sine inverse negative 0.8.3, which is negative 0.304. 6 dot dot dot. Since they ask you give your answer correct to one decimal place, so simply let's just write down as negative 0.3. I think I need to check whether my angle type is the correct one or not. Wait for a sec. Okay, students, actually I found out that my setting of angle is not degree, it was a radian. That's why the number is not correct. So you can check simply like a setup, go to setup and find angles. Make sure to angle setup is degree, okay? So if you calculate this value by using degree angle, it's going to be negative 17.5 to one decimal place. And secondly, you need to find the correct theta, right? Because the negative value is not in this range. There are two methods to solve this question. The first one is using sine graph. You can draw a sine graph by using your calculator. Then you can find negative 17.5 here, right? Then the sine value is negative 0.3. As you can see, from 0 to 360, there are 2 points which satisfy negative 0.3 as sine value. So you need to find this angle and this angle. Since this gap is 17.5, you need to use this gap. So this angle is 180. Therefore, this angle is 180 plus 17.5, which is 197.5 degrees. And this one is 36 minus 17.5, right? Therefore, 342.5 degrees. The answer is theta equals 197.5 degrees or 342.5 degrees is the answer of this question. Or since sine value is negative, by using the cast rule, sine is positive here, positive here. So the third quadrant, the fourth quadrant, you can find theta, which has sine value negative 0.3. Then negative 17.5 is here, right? So if you read this angle, the fourth quadrant is going to be 360 minus 17.5, which is 342.5. Or the third quadrant, which is here, you need to make this angle the same, this angle the same. So you should read this angle from the positive direction, 180, and then plus 180 plus 17.5, 197.5. So the answer is the same. Do you understand? Let's move to the next question. Okay, now from the negative 180 to 360 degrees. So 1/2 turn to the negative direction, and then 1 full turn to the positive direction. Do you understand? Which cosine equals square root 2 over 2. Then by using inverse, cosine inverse, square root 2 over 2, you can find value of x as 45 degrees, right? And also by using the CAS rule, cosine value is positive when it is when the angle is located the first quadrant or the fourth quadrant. So 1 full turn to the positive direction, you need to find 45 degrees here, and then 45 degrees here, however, the positive direction. So theta equals 45 degrees, and then 360 minus 45 degrees. On the negative direction, there is 1/4 quadrant, right? So negative 45 degrees. Therefore, theta equals negative 45 degrees, or 45 degrees, or 315 degrees is the answer of this question. Or you can draw a cosine graph. So from negative 180 to 360 by using your calculator, you can draw a cosine graph in this way. This is 180. Anyway, by using your calculator, you need to find this 45 degrees first, okay? So 45 degrees. The cosine value is the same here, here, and then here. Do you understand? Then 45 degrees, then minus 45 degrees. Please see that this gap should be the same all the time. This gap is the same as this gap, right? Please see the curve, see the shape of curve. So 45 here. So from 360 and then back to 45. So 360 minus 45 degrees, which is 315 degrees is the answer of this question. Tangent 1. Solve the equation tangent theta equals 2.5 for negative 180 to 540. So 0 to negative 180. And then 0 to 540 means 360 plus 180, right? So it means that 1 full turn to the positive direction and then 1 more half turn. So actually from this range, you can count how many roots it has. So since tangent value is positive, so it means that the first quadrant and the third quadrant. Then from here, there is 1/3 quadrant degree, right? And then there are 2 first quadrant one and 1/3 quadrant one. So from the negative direction, there will be one answer. From the positive direction, there will be 1, 2, and 3. So which is from 0 to 90, and then 180 to 270, and 360 to 450. There are 3 answers more to the positive direction. So in total, you need to find 4 x's to understand. So firstly, x equals tangent inverse 2.5. Which is 68.2, because they ask you to write down 3 significant figures. Okay, secondly, let's find the angle. So 68.2 here, 68.2. Then the third quadrant one, on the negative direction, this one, 68 68.2. So you need to calculate this angle, right? So negative 180 and then plus 68.2. Which is negative 111.8, but they ask you to write down the answer correct to three significant figures, so it should be 112. This is the first one. And then, as I told you, the first quadrant one, which is 68.2, positive direction. And then third quadrant one, which is 180 plus 68.2, which is 48.2 degrees. Then lastly, there is one more between 360 and 450. So it means that you can simply add up 360 to the first quadrant degree, 68.2, which is 428.2 degrees. Therefore, the answer X equals negative 112 degrees or 68.2 degrees, or this one, correct three significant figure, 248 degrees. This one, correct three significant figure, which is 428 degrees. This is the answer of this question. Okay, students, these questions are always the same. I mean, very similar type of questions. So I want you to solve this question by yourself. Maybe let's try to solve this question together. Cosine x equals negative 0.75 when x is between negative 180 and positive 180. So firstly, negative 180 means from 0 to negative 180, negative direction, 1/2 turn, and then positive direction, 1/2 turn. So firstly, x equals cosine inverse negative 0.75. Please calculate this one first. Which is 138.6. Correct one decimal places. Okay. And then, since cosine value is negative, so it means that cast. So you need to find the angle in the second quadrant and in the third quadrant. But the second quadrant angle is a positive one. And the third quadrant angle is a negative one, right? Because it's here. You need to find angle here and here. And 138.6 is this one already exists, the second one, so that this one should be one of the answer. Secondly, you need to find the angle, which is located on the third quadrant in the negative direction. So please calculate this angle all the time. So 180 minus 138.6, which is 41.4. Because when we calculate the angles, we always use theta here. 180 minus theta, please bring back your memory. 180 plus theta and 360 minus theta, right? So you need to find this angle. And then the third quadrant one should be located here, which is this one, 41.4 degrees. So you need to find this angle on the negative direction. Negative direction. It means that negative 180 and then plus 41.4. Negative 180 plus 41.4. Which is negative 138.6 degrees. Therefore, the answer of question B1 is x equals 138.6 and negative 138.6 degrees. Let's solve this question, D1, okay? D1 together. So sine t equals negative 2 over 3. So directly, automatically, please write down t equals sine inverse, negative 2 over 3. Then minus 48.8. You can find this value by using your calculator. Let's check the range. So negative 180, so 1/2 turn in the negative direction and 1 full turn. Do you understand? So since sine value is negative, by using the cast rule, this angle should be located on the 3rd quadrant and 4th quadrant. So from the positive direction, there is 1/3 quadrant one, 1/4 quadrant one. On the negative direction, there is 1/4 quadrant one and 1/3 quadrant one. Can you see that? Then negative 41.8, which is here. But the gap is, but the size is 41.8, right? So this one is 41.8 degrees. Let's read this angle from the positive direction first. So 180 plus. And then this line, 360 minus. Negative direction. And this one, negative 41.8 degrees. And negative direction, negative 180 and then plus, right? Negative 180 plus 41.8 degrees. Therefore, T equals negative 41.8 or negative 180 plus 41.8 degrees. Please calculate it by yourself. The positive direction, 180 plus 41.8 and 360 minus 41.8 is the answer of this question. I want you to be able to see the similarity between these type of questions, okay? Let's solve question B2, B2. It's similar as well. 5 cosine x plus 2 equals 4.7. Simply, they ask you to solve this simple linear equation first, right? 5 cosine x equals 2.7. Therefore, cosine x equals 2.7 over 5. And then from here, this question is exactly same as the question that we solved before, right? So x equals cosine inverse 2.5 over 2.7 over 5. Which is 57.3 degrees. And then one full turn, one full turn. So by using the cast rule, we need to find the 1st quadrant angle and the 4th quadrant angle. So 57.3 and this one 57.3. Therefore, 57.3 and 360 minus, right? 360 minus 57.3. Let's solve this question. Question number 8. Okay, question number 8. Find all values of theta in the interval of 1 full turn in the positive direction for which sine theta times 3 cosine theta minus 2 equals 0. Firstly, students, please bring back your memory. If A times B equals 0, it means that either A equals 0 or B equals 0, right? So it means that either sine theta equals 0 or 3 cosine theta minus 2 equals 0. So firstly, let's solve in this case sine theta equals 0. So basically sine theta is 0 when the value of y, when the y coordinate is 0 on the x-axis, right? So because bring back your memory, sine theta is defined as y over r, right? Since r is always positive value, so meaning that sine theta equals 0, it means that y is 0. Y is 0, it means that this angle is on the x-axis, so 0 degrees, and then 180 degrees, and then 360 degrees. Do you understand? So theta is 0, 180, 360, just to name those angles on the x-axis. And secondly, 3 cosine theta minus 2 equals 0. It means that cosine theta equals 2 over 3, right? So theta is cosine inverse 2 over 3. (48.2 degrees). Then let's find the angles which has the same cosine value. So one full turn, cosine value positive. So it means that first quadrant and the fourth quadrant, which is 48.2 degrees. You need to find the fourth quadrant angle of this line, right? This line. Then you need to read this angle by anti-clockwise direction, which is 360 minus 48.2 degrees. Which is 311.8 degrees. So therefore, theta equals 0, 180, 360, 48.2, 311.8 degrees. So there are total 5 solutions which satisfy this equation. Question number 9, very similar to the question number 8. A times B equals 0, okay? A times B equals 0. It means that either A equals 0 or B equals 0. So firstly, tangent x plus 1 equals 0. And secondly, 5 sine x minus 2 equals 0. From the first one, you can get tangent theta equals minus 1, which is theta equals tangent inverse negative 1. Then you can find minus 45 degrees. Let's solve this question first. So sine x equals 2 over 5, then x equals sine inverse 2 over 5. 23.6 degrees. Okay, let's find the angles. So the range of x is given from negative 360 to 360. So it means that positive direction, 1 full turn, and the negative direction, 1 full turn. Do you understand? So since tangent value is negative, it means that by using the CAS rule, So tangent is positive here, but some tangent value is negative. So you need to find angles on the second quadrant and angles on the fourth quadrant. So this angle and this angle. Okay. So negative 45, it means that this one 45. You need to find the angle here, 45. So firstly, positive direction, it means that 180 minus 45, right? To represent this line, 180 minus 45 degrees. To represent this angle, 360 minus 45. Do you understand? So second and the fourth quadrant, please remember. So negative direction, negative 45. This one 45. This one for this angle 45. It's the same. Now let's read this. Let's read the angle which represent this line on the negative direction. So this one is negative 45 degrees, right? And this one, negative 180 and then negative 45 more because it goes to the negative direction, 180 and then 45 more. Do you understand? So negative 180 and then negative direction, 45 degrees more. So therefore, x equals 45 and 180 minus 45, which is 135, and negative 45 degrees, and negative 45 minus negative 180 minus negative 45, which is negative 225. You can find the four solutions from 1, from 2. Again, to the positive direction, 1 full turn, negative direction, 1 full turn, right? So 23.6 degrees here. Positive 1. By using the CAS rule, sign is positive from the first and the second quadrant, right? Sign value is positive. So we need to find the angle which is located on the first and the second quadrant. Then please draw this line and mark it as 23.6 degrees. Now let's read these lines by positive direction, 26.3. And then 180 minus 28, 23.6, these two angles. In the negative direction. Basically, angle is the same, right? Just the way that we read the angle is different. Negative direction, 180, and then 223.6 more to the negative direction. So minus 180 minus 23.6 degrees. And this one, minus 360 degrees, and then positive direction, 23.6. So minus 360 plus 23.6 degrees. Therefore, x equals 23.6 or 100 and 156.4 degrees, and this one negative 203.6 degrees, and this one negative 36.4 degrees. Whew. Okay, we're almost done. So 4 solutions from the equation 1, 4 solutions from the equation 2. Therefore, the total answer should be x equals, let's write down from the negative 1, minus 36.4 minus 225 minus 203.6 and minus 45 degrees. Positive direction 23.6, 45, 135, and then 156.4. Total 8 solutions satisfied with this equation. You understand? I am going to skip this question 10 and 11. Please try to solve it by yourself. And if you have any question, please come to find me. Okay, so let's solve this question. So actually, if you think that you are going to solve this type of question by using the graph, I don't recommend it because it's extremely difficult. Just please substitute 2x as theta, okay? So theta equals 2x. And since x is ranged from 0 to 360, it means that 2x is range 0 from 720 degrees. Please substitute theta. So theta is located from 0 to 720. It means that 2 full turns. Okay, 3 sine theta plus 1 equals 0. 3 sine theta equals negative 1. Therefore, sine theta equals negative 1 over 3. So you can find theta by using inverse function. Sine inverse negative 1 over 3 equals 19.5 degrees. This is theta. But since theta is ranged in 2 full turns, okay, 2 full turns. Keep this in your mind. Oh, actually it's negative, sorry, students. And since the sign value is negative, it means the sign plus sign plus sign minus sign minus. So you need to find the angle on the third quadrant and the fourth quadrant. And 2 full turn means they are gonna exist. There are gonna be, sorry, 2 angles on the third quadrant and the 2 angles on the fourth quadrant. Do you understand? Okay. So firstly, let's draw a line. 19 minus 19.5 degrees. It means that this angle size is 19.5 degrees. The angle on the third quadrant, this one, right? 19.5 degrees. Let's read these two lines in. So fast turn, 180 plus. So 180 plus 19.5, and then 360 minus, right? So 360 minus 19.5 degrees. And then the second turn, on the second turn, the same angle. So it means that you can just add up 360 here. You can add up 360 here. Do you understand? Therefore, theta equals 199.5 degrees. And after adding up 360, 559.5 degrees, and 360 minus 19.5, which is 340.5 degrees, and then plus 360, 700.5. Ooh, we just found the value of theta, which is 2x. So since theta is 2x, please write down theta as 2x. 199.5, 340.5, 559.5, 700.5. To find the value of x, you need to divide it by 2 every value, right? Therefore, x should be 99.75 170 plus 25 279.75 350.25. However, they ask you to give your answers to 3 significant figures. So 1, 2, 3, draw a bar. Up. So 99.8 here. 170. 1, 2, 3, draw a bar. 280. 1, 2, 3. 350. So these 4 values are answer of this question. Okay. This one, let's solve the equation. Okay, this question as well. So please bring back your memory. To solve this question easier, I just substitute this one, this chunk as theta, right? Sine angle, tangent angle. I am going to substitute this chunk as this time x. Understand? So 3 tangent x equals square root 3. Then since tangent x equals square root 3 over 3, x equals tangent inverse square root 3 over 3, 30 degrees. Let's see, the range of theta is defined from 0 to 720. To find the range of x, let's make this one. So firstly, 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 theta, then it's going to be 0 and 360. Secondly, minus 30, minus 30, minus 30. So negative 30, 1 over 2 theta minus 30 degrees, and 330 degrees. Since we substitute this chunk as x, therefore the range of x is negative 30 degrees to 330 degrees. So basically negative 30 degrees to 330 degrees in this way, okay? Since the tangent value is positive, so it is located on the first quadrant and the third quadrant. So this one is 30 degrees, simply. And this one 30 degrees, which is 180 plus 30. Therefore, x equals 30 plus 30 or 210. Since x represents 1 over 2 theta minus 30 degrees, 30 and 210, to find theta, because x is same as this one, right? And to find theta, let's add up 30 to each side. So 1 over 2 theta equals 60 and 240. To find the value of theta, you need to multiply by 2 to each side, right? Therefore, theta equals either 120 degrees or 480 degrees. They are the answer of this question.